Let's go tour this $800,000 house in DeForest, Wisconsin. Now, if you've seen this house around already, you might know that this house recently had a price drop of about $42,000, but let's go see exactly what $800,000 gets you. From the outside, this house is pretty much exactly what you'd expect in this price range. It's got that classic colonial style that is scaled up a bit, so it doesn't feel small or overly basic when you pull up. As soon as you walk in, the home opens up immediately with these super tall ceilings. There's a sense of scale right away, and that matters in a large house because you want the entryway to feel intentional, not cramped or underwhelming. And this entryway really is beautiful. The natural light that shines in from these windows is just absolutely stunning. If you're new here, my name is Hannah Garcia. I'm a real estate agent here in Wisconsin, as well as Illinois. And this is my channel, Heartland Homes with Hannah. If you have any real estate needs, go ahead and check the description down below for all the ways to get in contact with me. And let's just get right into this tour. To the right of the entryway, you have this room that could be used for really anything, but would be especially nice as an office space. Having a private office space on the main level is a huge advantage. It gives you a dedicated space that can function as a work from home setup, a study, a creative room, or really any type of quiet, flexible space away from the main activity in the house. I think one of the reasons homes like this appeal to people is not just the number of rooms, but the number of options that you have with these rooms. A true office on the main level is super nice because it gives the home a layer of function that isn't dependent on sacrificing a bedroom or carving out space somewhere else in the home. This house has over 4,200 finished square feet of living space and a basement that, while unfinished, if you decided to finish it out, it could add a lot more finished living space to this home. But you have over 4,200 finished square feet of living space. That's 5 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, a 3-car garage. You'll have an entryway closet here. And like I said, a huge basement that has the potential to add even more square feet if you decided to finish it out. All right, now let's take a look at this half bathroom on the main floor. Not too big, but as bathrooms go, it's still nice to have. This house was built in 2019, so you're getting something that still feels pretty current, but isn't a completely new build. It's also not dated in a way that makes you immediately think about all the upgrades that you're going to want to do. And now we're going to walk over into the great room. And the great room is one of the standout features of this house. You've got these soaring ceilings, oversized windows bringing in a ton of natural light. And these windows open a vertical view from the upper level catwalk, which makes this space even bigger. It's the kind of room that immediately reads as the heart of the home. What makes this room valuable is that it creates a strong central gathering space in the middle of the home, which with this much square footage, you're definitely going to want a place like that, which visually and functionally anchors everything else. Otherwise, a large home can really start to feel disjointed, and this room does a great job of being both impressive and usable. Now, off of the great room is this main level bedroom that has an ensuite bathroom. And before we get into the rest of the house, every full bathroom in this house has a double vanity, which I think is a pretty special feature. And this main level bedroom with an ensuite bathroom is a really difficult feature to find in most other houses. Not only is it nice to live in a home with a main level bathroom with an ensuite bathroom, but it also helps with the resale value of this house if you ever decided to sell it one day. Okay, let's pause for a second and actually talk about the price of this home, because this is where I feel like a lot of people either immediately check out or they're thinking about price in a way that does not actually help. As I said earlier, the big ticket price of this home is $800,000, which yes, is dropped from $842,000, but as of now, it is $800,000. And honestly, that number by itself doesn't really tell you that much. So let's break this down into what matters when you're looking at monthly payments and how that number changes depending on how you structure this purchase. Because the reality is, two people can look at the exact same house and have completely different monthly payments. And I don't mean slightly different, I mean super different. But let's just break down some examples here. So if you were to put 5% down versus 20% down, that alone is going to change your monthly payment by a significant number. And then when you factor in interest rates, even a small shift there, like 0.5%, can move your payment hundreds of dollars monthly. And on top of that, you've got taxes, insurance, your loan type. So when it comes to giving an estimate of your monthly payment, I want to make it abundantly clear that everyone's situation is going to be different. So all that being said, this is not financial advice. This is simply an example that can help you rationalize big ticket numbers like $800,000. But just to give you a general idea of what your monthly payments could look like on this home, most buyers are looking probably between mid $5,000 to mid $6,000 per month. Again, that's not a quote. That is a general range depending how everything else is structured. Before we head down to the basement or upstairs, let's go take a look at the kitchen and the garage. The kitchen keeps an open concept flow going, and that's exactly what you want in a home designed for entertaining and day-to-day connection. You've got a central island, good openness to the surrounding spaces, and a layout that keeps the kitchen integrated with the rest of the main level instead of it being closed off. In a house like this, the kitchen is doing a lot of jobs, and it's where people gather, where conversations happen, where guests naturally end up during the holidays, and where the home either feels social and connected, or it doesn't. What I like here is that the kitchen feels positioned to support the house rather than compete with it. It stays connected to the great room, the nearby dining area, as well as the entryway from the garage, and it makes the whole home feel cohesive. Before we look at the garage, let's go over here and look at the dining area. The dining area continues to flow in that open layout, which gives this level of really functional rhythm. Nothing feels isolated. The lot here sits just under half an acre, about 0.3 acres to be exact, which I actually think is a nice middle ground. It's not too much land to have to manage and deal with, but it's still a large enough lot where you have a lot of backyard space. Now let's go take a look at this 3-car attached garage. A 3-car garage gives you so much more breathing room when it comes to storing your vehicles, your hobbies, your tools, seasonal items, or just not having everything packed too tightly in other areas of your home. It's one of those features that people often underestimate until they've lived in a space that doesn't have enough garage space. Alright, now that we've looked at the garage, let's also look at this entryway from the garage, because you have this whole extra room where you can dedicate to storing all your coats, your boots, all your winter gear. You just have a really nice area here to transition from the garage to the rest of the house. Alright, now let's head down to the basement. The basement here is unfinished, but it's far from a wasted space, especially because you have egress windows down here, which if you don't know what an egress window is, that's basically a window that makes it possible to get out of the basement if there is some kind of emergency going on. And legally, for a basement to be considered to have bedrooms in the basement, egress windows are completely necessary, which means if you decided to finish out this basement, you could add a lot more value to your property because you would legally be able to say you have bedrooms down here. Alright, now let's head to my favorite part of the house, which is upstairs in the loft. The upstairs level is one of the first things you notice in a home that stays visually open like this one. The loft and the catwalk overlook the main level, which keeps this floor from feeling closed off. You've got multiple secondary bedrooms on this level, 3 to be exact. So you've got plenty of different options for loan types. Some people are going to do a conventional loan with lower down payments. Some people are going to put more down to bring the monthly payment down, and some people are going to buy down their interest rate to make the payment feel more comfortable long term. And those choices can completely change how this house feels financially for you, which is why I gave that whole spiel earlier about how everyone's monthly payment is going to look completely different. Now, while we're on the subject of loan types, let me talk to the buyers that need to sell a different house in order to purchase your next house. Because if you already own something, you are capable of tapping into the equity that you have tied up in that house and use it to help you buy your next house. So for example, if you own a home already and you've built up, let's say $150,000, or, let's make the numbers easier with $200,000 in equity, that can mean you could put down a larger down payment, you can lower your monthly payments, or overall just have more flexibility when it comes to purchasing a larger home like this one. And if you do have another house, you might be thinking, oh, isn't that going to make the timing tricky with having to time selling your old house and moving into your next house? And that's honestly where getting a lender that can help you with all of this is going to be an extreme advantage you have when it comes to purchasing your next bigger home. There's multiple ways to approach this kind of situation. You can either sell first, which is most straightforward financially, but of course then you would have to find living accommodations between when you sell your last home and when you can move into your next one. If you're in the position, you can buy first, so you can purchase your next home before selling your old home. You've got multiple secondary bedrooms on this level. And while these rooms add a ton of function, the space I really want to show you guys, which I saved for the end, is the beautiful primary bedroom and bathroom. But before we get into the primary bed and bathroom, let's take a look at this laundry room. I love that the laundry room is up here where the bedrooms are. Really living the life of luxury here, having the laundry room upstairs next to your bedrooms. On to the primary bedroom now. Look how large and full of natural light this space is. It truly feels like a retreat within the home. It has the scale you'd expect in a house at this price point, and it feels intentionally separated from the busier shared spaces. Let's talk about some common buyer mistakes. One mistake I see people making all the time, especially when they start looking at homes in this price range, is they focus way too much on how the house looks and not enough about how it actually functions when living in it. And I get that because, the first thing you notice when walking into a house is all the finishes, the countertops, the cabinets, the floorings, the fixtures, all of the things. And all of that is very visible, so it feels like that's what matters most. But in reality, when you're buying a home, aren't you going to want to customize your home to make it personal to you when you move into it? So the reality is, the finishes and the cosmetic stuff are the easiest things to change and customize when you go to make your home yours. You can repaint, you can swap fixtures, you can change a lot of stuff at the surface level without having to completely rework the house. But the layout, that's the part where you're stuck with. Or you can shell out a lot of money to change the layout. But a good layout is way more important than good cosmetic features. The layout of this home is something this house does really well. You've got a strong central living space, an open flow on the main level, a main level bathroom, 2 main level bathrooms, both a powder room and a main level bedroom with an ensuite bathroom for flexibility. You've got separation between the levels and multiple ways to use the upstairs. So even if someone came in and changed the cosmetic features of this home, which again, most people customize their home in a way that makes sense for them, but the foundation of this house is what functions really well and is already here. So what I always tell buyers is look past the surface, pay attention to the structure, the layout, and how the home flows from one space to another, because that's the part that's hardest to change. And it's also the part that matters most. And even more impressive than this bedroom here is the primary bathroom. This bathroom gives you a full suite of features a lot of buyers are hoping for at this level. You got the dual vanities, a super nice soaking tub, a separate shower from the tub, another walk-in closet, and the toilet is locked behind a door, so how nice is that? This layout fully supports daily function, but it also gives that more elevated spa-like feeling. Seriously guys, I cannot get over this bathtub. And not only do you have the walk-in closet in the primary bedroom, but you have another walk-in closet here in the primary bathroom. Overall, the primary suite does exactly what it should in a home like this. It gives you a lot of room, a feeling of luxury, and it feels like an oasis away from the rest of the house. This home is going to appeal to most buyers who are looking in the $700,000 to $900,000 price range, and it will appeal to anyone who wants a lot of usable square footage, flexible room options, a newer build, and a layout that supports everyday living and entertaining. This one is especially strong for someone who wants the option of a main level bedroom, a main level bathroom, and multiple upstairs rooms, and a future basement potential. So overall, this house is one of those homes where the value really comes down to what you're prioritizing. You're getting a newer build, a lot of square footage, and a layout that gives you a lot of flexibility in how you actually use the space. And that's really what stands out to me here. It's not trying to be everything, but for someone who wants space, function, and something that feels relatively modern without going completely new construction, this house is for you. And at $800,000, especially coming down from $842,000, this home is positioned a lot more competitively for what you're getting. But like we talked about earlier, whether something like this makes sense for you isn't just about the price, it's about how it fits into your numbers, your timing, and your overall plan. So if you're watching this and you're thinking about making a move, whether it's to something like this or just trying to figure out what your options are, check the description box down below and get in touch with me, and I can walk you through the entire home buying process from start to finish. Or if you're looking to sell your home, I can help you with that too. If you want to see this home in person, once again, check the description box and let's get in touch. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn your notifications on so you never miss a video from me. Thank you for watching!